Probation? Damn. I don't know. I think it's bad, but then at the same time, it's good, I guess.
Some students here are on probation, and if you looked at the percentage of students that we have on probation compared with a bigger high school, a typical high school, we would say we definitely have a higher percentage, but there are many kids who are here who aren't on probation. We see our work also taking a student who might be at risk of dropping out or doing something and providing the support beforehand, which is why we created our own mentor program that mimics probation's mentor program, only it's meant to be a preventative instead of after the fact.
What do I think about probation?
Yeah.
Well, I think probation is just like, it's like mini prison, kind of.
Mini prison?
I guess. Like junior prison, like junior prison.
And do you think that probation is a good idea or a bad idea? Because I heard that a lot of people that are on probation turn to alcohol and tobacco when they're on it.
Yeah, I've heard that too. And I think, you know, I think you should just let kids do whatever they want. You know, it's not like we're fully developed yet. We don't know what we're doing.
They test you a lot. They judge you, and they're on your ass about everything. Can I say that?
You can say anything you want about it.
They ain't shit. They're like a spy. They spy everything you do, and they try to get you locked up for everything. If you get a dirty test and get locked up, that doesn't solve anything. That makes you want to just go back and do it again. Because people who smoke weed can't smoke weed because it stays in your system longer, so they prefer to get drunk off alcohol. And cigarettes because they get out your system quicker. Because they keep pressuring you, and the more pressure you have, the more you're going to want to do bad choices. The government trying to keep kids away by making money at the same time. Like keep kids away like in juvenile hall, in a cage, in a cell. I mean, everyone smokes weed now, everyone. Even if it is carts or whatever they be smoking nowadays, it's still THC. And they do that every day while some other kids take a hit and they go to jail for it. So yeah, that's a big one.
Bad about probation is that it's the system, and then once you're in the system, you can't get out of it. It's really hard to get out of it. Everybody ends up either fucking up one little place and one little piece, and then like it's hella hard to get out of it. Once you're in the halls, it's just basically caged animals. Like you don't know what to do in there, bro. Like you're just in a 4x4, just looking up to the sky or reading a book. Like you can't really do nothing. You have like. They're telling you what time to eat. They're telling you what time to talk to your mom. But they're telling you what time you can watch TV. Like a kid's not gonna want to be doing that. And then after that, they get used to it because they're doing 2 months. They're doing 3 months. And then after they go to placement, and after they go to placement, it's a year from home. And once they're in placement, they don't see their mama though. No, because they need their family. They need where they were grown and raised, because that's a childhood where they could go on with their future and have I guess a future, yeah.
See, probation invades a lot of privacy, what I think. And I think it obstructs justice in a way for us minors who don't really know our rights. So that's kind of jank. So in my opinion, I don't like probation. It's not really the answer. People can help themselves with those around them. They don't need cages, they don't need ankle monitors, all that bullshit.
Probation officers need to be more down to earth, you know, especially dealing with juveniles, especially with the trauma that a lot of juveniles went through. You know, I feel like if they could be more down to earth and less, I mean, they could be strict, but you know, they could be firm in a better way rather than being like out of pocket and, you know, come into your house and yank you up and talk about, all right, time to go to school, that type of deal. Like, you know, they could do it in more a humane way. I feel like if they are more down to earth, they listen to what the kids got to say, you know, that would make the relationship better. There's POs out there that's very down to earth, and, you know, they give you chances before they take you down or whatever.
What would you recommend juvenile hall be like?
Well, keeping the kid in a cell is not helping them in any way. It's just making them more stressed. Maybe like a program where it could teach the kid to be better.
Okay, but where would you stay?
I mean,
There'd
yeah,
be just a
maybe
big
room.
open dorm?
Yeah, but not like a cell that has a whole lock on it. Can't get out or anything.
Okay, so your recommendation would be that you have a room without a lock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what if the minor doesn't want to stay in the room?
Well, that's not up to me. I'm not a...
No, I'm asking your suggestions. If you were to do that, and
Well,
you
then
were
that's
running the
something
hall.
different. That's something different. But...
No, I'm asking because I'm truly interested.
What was your question again?
You're saying that it's inhumane to have minors locked inside their rooms during certain hours. So I'm truly interested in what would be an alternative to that.
Well, keep them in the room where they could still socialize, or like have something in the room that they could get occupied with in a good way, not just books.
Okay, and what might that be?
I don't know, school stuff.
Okay, school stuff meaning something other than books?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a suggestion? Because I'd love to hear it. I heard a Xbox from the
Yeah, but
but I don't think that's gonna happen. See, one of the things I think that's important about detention time, and I think this is harder for your generation maybe than generations of the past, is it is a time also to think and not just occupy your brain, but to take advantage of counseling and read things that might be productive, to write, to journal, to do stuff that makes you gain insight into why you're sitting in juvenile hall.
We can't write in there though.
You can't write in your rooms.
No.
You're not allowed even this pencil?
No, nothing.
Okay, that's good information to have. Thank you. So that's something that would be helpful for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Very
anything
helpful.
else? Because I'm open if you have suggestions. I mean, in my dream world, we have a new juvenile hall, which is modernized and has a lot more things for youth to do, programs and job training and all that kind of stuff. In fact, that's something that I advocate for with just about every day of my life. So if you have concrete suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Absolutely.
I'll let you know if I have any.
Okay, that'd be great.
A suggestion that I would like to say is that like a real window where we can actually look out of instead of seeing all these little
Wouldn't it be great?
cubicles.
I agree, and our juvenile hall was built in the 60s. And I would love to have a new juvenile hall. Unfortunately, I will tell you that I've looked at the price tag. It's very, very high, and it's going to take some time to convince people to do that. But I agree with you. It's depressing.
Probation can be successful in the sense that someone is given an opportunity. If you don't know how probation works, there's usually two types of sentences. If you're guilty of a crime, you're either going to get probation, in which case your sanction at the beginning will be, you know, very low, but then you have to comply with the terms of probation in order to successfully complete your term, or you get no probation, in which case you would do a lot of jail time, typically speaking. So probation can be successful in a whole different, you know, host of ways. But really what you want to do is you come up with a plan, and for me, for probation to be successful, the probation department needs to make a realistic and honest assessment of the client first, right? What are the needs? What brought this person into the criminal justice system, and how do we ensure that this person is going to get on the path to not come back, right? Reduce recidivism. That's the goal here, to get rid of recidivism, you know? And so that requires that the probation department be engaged with the client, take a realistic assessment of where they are in their life and where they need to be, or where they can be, or where they want to be, right? Those are all the questions that need to be asked while someone is on probation. And successful probation is when somebody goes through their 3 years of probation, or however long that probationary period is, they terminate, they've done all the things that they needed to do successfully, with bumps along the way. Bumps along the way are a given, right? But that the probation department has remained committed to that person, and at the end of their probationary period, that person either has a job or they've been reunited with their family, and they are on the path to not come back into the criminal justice system. That's successful probation for me.
Yeah. I think it's successful when there is an appropriate plan that's put in place for the juvenile's needs. So it's a really individualized plan that's done mutually and recognizes where the juvenile needs to go. You know, what services need to be provided, what help needs to be given, and then if that's a realistic plan and not just some like, let's just give you a bunch of conditions to follow and see if you can do it, but that you get help along the way, then it can be successful.
Please describe how you feel probation officers assist kids.
I think that it assists kids in the manner of being a positive influence and a positive role model for them. It gives them good boundaries and an opportunity to have somebody who would give them feedback that sometimes parents have a hard time doing. Sometimes parents don't want to say, hey, what you're doing is wrong, but probation often says, hey, here's what you're doing wrong, how can we get you to make better choices? I feel like things are changing where our department's really investing in kids and their future. For example, Luciano, who helps with jobs. I think those are really important things to have for kids. I think we need more of those programs where we can help get the basic job skills and job training and services to help them get to and from jobs. That's one. The other thing is mentors are very important, and I think we use Seneca a lot for that, so it gives an opportunity for parents to have some support and kids have support. I think what could be better is even more services. We can never have enough services to offer to the families and to the kids.
I think probation provides, and juvenile hall and juvenile services as a whole, I think it provides a much needed support, especially at times when students are really lacking that particular support. And the good thing I think about juvenile probation is that support can come in a lot of different ways. And it could be sometimes in ways that students they don't maybe see that they need it right at that moment, but maybe a year down the line they'll understand that they did need it. It's not always the best thing for everyone, I'll admit that right off the bat, but I think that overall they come into a student's life at a point when they have to, they're confronted with an issue and a change that's necessary, and I think that probation helps them choose the right path. When we're looking at what that whole family needs holistically, I think this is where juvenile services in general can be really one of the most important pieces of this whole puzzle, because they can help that student identify what that is, or at the very minimum, they can reach out to those other community partners that maybe that family or that student doesn't even know about. They can knock on that door, they can make that phone call, they can send that email to say, hey, I have a student, I have a family that needs this. I have a student, I have a family that's lacking here. And then bring someone into that team, to that mix, so that we can form like this tighter net around that family unit, around that student, to be able to help them find that success they need, so they can get their head above water, so they can, get past high school, so they can find that job, so whatever it may be.
I struggled a little bit when I was a youth, always maybe following the rules that were prescribed to me. So it's fun to try to help people work through some mistakes maybe that I made, or help prevent them from making the same mistakes that I made.
I think the mentor program, Partners for Success, maybe, that where young people get connected with mentors who can take them to do the things that they need to do. And oftentimes parents are working during the day, and so these mentors can drive people where they want to be, or do fun and exciting things with them, or help them get their community service hours. I don't know what a student on probation would say, but that seems helpful. And then the other part of it is, and not everybody gets this, and I don't know who, but the parent partnerships. Sometimes parents are struggling to try to figure out what to do to best support kids, and the parent partnerships, I think, really help the parents also re-engage in supporting the kids.
We are providing, in collaboration with the Marin Community School and the Marin County Office of Education, a mentorship support program, and in-classroom support as well. We call learning coaches. And the learning coaches are staff, I would say bilingual, and in the majority of the cases, and culturally appropriate, life experience, trained staff that support youth in the school setting, providing support in the classroom, but also mentorship, and provide some academic and support. And at the end, some of them participate in pro-social activities as mentors as well. And the youth got this kind of opportunities to participate in programs that are culturally appropriate, designed for them and their own settings, to create, once again, a path to success.
I just feel like probation is absolutely necessary for youth whose parents have lost control over them. The school has lost control of them, the community has lost control of them, and they have lost control of themselves, I think that probation is a good program to keep the youth contained. But on top of that, it really helps youth to get back on track, and it gives a lot of support to the families, it kind of support that the family has never had, either therapy or services like mentorship services, and a whole bunch of other programs that probation offers.
I think mentoring is I wish I had that growing up. I think it's a great opportunity that the students and mentees can have. It's like sometimes they don't have that at home, so it's a great place where they can go and have the right guidance and someone that they can talk to, like a buddy they can talk to, and if they have a problem or questions and stuff like that.
And I see, kids coming in, went through whatever they went through last night at home, and comes in here not even ready to do any work, but because of so much love that they put out here as a staff, the kids like, you know what, I'm here. You know what, let me just do something. So, I like their resilience. I like their persistent. I like, them being them. And that's what makes them special. I don't care if they cuss me out and then, and want to have a restorative conversation. I rarely have any restorative conversation either, because I felt like when they express themselves that, they cuss me out and stuff, it's like, hey, that's just a way of expressing because they've gone through something. So let's hear why he cussed me out, so. I just like the interaction with the kids because, they keep it real. So.